there, this is Chris from Money Hub, and this video overviews the MasterCard Cash Passport with the Wise Debit Card. So both of these are travel money cards. They've been around for some time. The Cash Passports are kind of like a legacy product, sold a lot through travel agents, but you can also buy it online. The Wise Debit Card recently kind of launched about 7-8 years ago. Very innovative from what we can see. So what we're looking at is really the difference in the fees and the difference in the exchange rate. So just as a background, we've done this comprehensive review, which you can read through and just see why we like the Wise card more. But what it really comes down to is as to why we do it. That's based on the exchange rates. So if we just do a summary here, before we look at the fees, before we look at anything else, what we want to do is just make a comparison. So here's the MasterCard Cash Passport website. You can see it here, cashpassport.co.nz. Then you can also see the Wise website as well. Both of them are pretty similar in the fact that they always have these exchange kind of tools. So you can see right now how much money you'll get for your New Zealand dollars. So if we just do a basket of currency sample, and so what I'm going to suggest we do is we do 4 major currencies here. So we do Australian dollars, we do US dollars, we do British pounds, and we do euros. Then we can see how much money you get for your New Zealand dollar per currency. So using the Cash Passport, I'm just going to refresh this so we have the latest rates. And if we go right now, so this is the reload amount, but it's always the same exchange rate. If you're doing it for the first time or reloading it later. So if we were to now transfer 1,000 New Zealand dollars, we would get 875.10 Australian dollars. Now that's a locked-in rate. You've got you have 4 hours to fund it, and that's just per the little thing down there. It says you must settle it within 4 hours. So that's just because exchange rates always move, and they want to make sure that you get you put the money through to limit their risk. Now, so we see 875 for Australian, and then if we do the same with Wise, and we type in Australian dollars there, and I'll just refresh that just in case it's slightly changed, but I think it's coming up fresh. So we can see that that's a guaranteed rate for 62 hours. You'll get 902.43 Australian dollars. So it's quite a difference already. It's about $28, which certainly adds up when it is the money that you've already spent, and it's the same money whether or not it's in the Wise card or it's in the Cash Passport card. It's Australian dollars. So that shows you that you're going to get a lot more with the Wise card. We just do another currency, just while we're here. We'll do the US dollar, and we can see here that this is the exchange rate, 0.616, and you're going to get $613.11. And then if we do that for Cash Passport, then you're going to get $591, and the exchange rate is 0.59. So already you can see from that is you're going to get like 22 or 23 US dollars less. And these add up, because if you're going away, they're just going to add up, and it is quite annoying. If we do British pounds, then it's 517. You can see the exchange rate is 0.519. So that is where that's at. And if you are to do it for the Cash Passport, you're going to get 494. So already that's about £19 difference, about $38 difference. So looking at around 3.7, 3.8% lower. And then finally, if we do the euro, we can see there that the exchange rate is 0.583, and you're going to get 583 euros. If we do it for Wise, then you're going to get, sorry, I'm a bit excited there. You're going to get 608 euros. So this is a real big difference. Once again, around 17 plus 8, so 25. euros, and it's just, for the same amount of money that you're translating, these things are quite significant. And so if you wait for a long time, if you wait, so even if you wait for a short time, you will notice the difference if you are sort of overpaying on these cards. Now, why are these exchange rates so much lower? That just seems to be their product. It's not as if, they've got sort of access to worse exchange rate. This is powered by MasterCard. It's just the business model. So sometimes things are like good value, like arguably Wise, very innovative, and it is very, strong on the whole. We're very direct, we're very cheap, and we give the best rates, versus a legacy product where you can see that it's, you know, this has kind of been around a while, and it's not so it's not so much focused on value. Now, if we just go back to our review, just so you know exactly what we're covering, we have looked at the fees. Sorry, we've looked at the exchange rates just now, but there's also fees. So we've noticed that this is something that Wise doesn't do, but it's certainly a problem with the cash passport. So if you load on New Zealand dollars, then you don't put it to a wallet, and then say you spend something overseas, you'll pay a 5.95% fee for the unloaded currency. So if I go over, say I fly from Auckland and I want to go to London, I stop in the US, and then I have, a long layover there because I booked a cheap flight, and then, I buy, I don't know, like an iPod or something. Sorry, not an iPod, like an iPad or something like that. I see it on duty free cheap. If I don't have US dollars loaded, then say that costs me $400 New Zealand equivalent, probably a lot more. Then, I'm going to pay a 5.95% on that just for making the transaction. So that's going to be like another $25. Even if it's a small scale purchase, you're flying, say, via Singapore, you stop and buy something at the airport, and maybe it's $20, you'll also pay a fee there if you haven't loaded your Singaporean dollars. That's all a bit quite inconvenient, and it's not something that we think is very attractive to travelers who are just not wanting to think, how much Singaporean dollars do I need to put in advance? Can I get Wi-Fi in Singapore? Do I need to do it before? What if the plane's delayed? Will I need these Singaporean dollars? These are kind of things which you don't really want to be thinking about when you travel. And so we think that it's so nice with Wise that you can just load up New Zealand dollars, spend them as you want. You can lock in exchange rates if you want to. Otherwise, you can leave it in New Zealand dollars wallet, and then it will just it'll just take it out at the market rate. No penalty fees, nothing like that, nothing nasty. So that's a lot more flexible. So what we have noticed is that with the cash passport, there's a few fees you'd also need to be careful of beyond that. So if you do buy it in store, then and say the travel agent says, right, let's load it up. How much do you want to put on it? Then you're going to pay 1%, 1% of what you load, with the minimum being $10. So say you are traveling for a while, you put on $2,000, then you actually get $1,980, because that will just be taken up in fees. Now, if you do load it with a debit card, Wise lets you do that as well. You can just say, oh, I need some quick money, so let me just do it. Then you'll be charged a $5 load fee. That is not the same with Wise. With Wise, if you were to put it with a debit card, it is going to be higher. But then if you just put small amounts, then it won't be. So if you do like $50, then you'd only pay the debit card fee of 95. So that is something to be wary of. If you do plan to do it through debit card, then the cash passport is cheaper there. But then you'll lose out on the exchange rates on the other end, so not really that much of a saving. There's a reload fee if you're not using the app. That's $1. And then with there are additional card fees. There's a cash out fee when you want your money out, when you decide to stop using the card. So that's $10. You can't just transfer it into a bank account like you can with Wise. And then if you want to take your money out from an ATM, there's going to be a whole different fee schedule there. With Wise, you do have a limit per month, and then they charge you a small fee. But here you have one-off payments. Plus, also there'll probably be, I mean, certainly for the US, there will be a fee on top of that. So whilst it's like $4, then the most ATMs in the US, for example, will charge $3 to $4 per withdrawal. So you actually pay $8. So that's just something to be aware of there. British ones tend to be free, like from the main banks, but America's different, and it can vary in Europe as well. And then if we look at the domestic fee, if you decide to use it in New Zealand, then it's going to be $4. And then you've just got a whole, sorry, this was the international ATM fees here. You just got a whole different slew of fees, but the nastiest one being this 5.95% of the transaction value for those people who don't have the currency that's not loaded. So, or when there are slash insufficient funds in that currency to complete the transaction. So that's really worth noting. It just makes it a lot more inflexible. Uh, but yeah, so you can read our review. You can see what the pros and cons are, why we like the Wise card more, and why it's just going to save you money. If you are going away, even putting on $1,000, $2,000, which is still a lot of money, you're going to be saving like $50, $60 from most currencies already, probably a lot more. And so it's really worth just checking out, reading the alternatives, reading what's on offer. The good thing with the Wise card is that this connects to Google Pay and Apple Pay, so you're not going to be limited there. And you can turn the card on and off. It's got a very sort of innovative app. And it really is just something that is set up for travelers and saving people money. Every time you make a purchase, you'll get like a notification, so you know what you're doing there, and you get kind of a paper trail through your phone, or actually like a visual trail of where your money is being spent. And it hasn't got this kind of legacy feel to it. Like, it is very innovative. So anyway, read our review here. There's no we're very objective in the fact that we just love the exchange rates that are offered by Wise because they are, the best available. We also have a review to the TravelX card as well as the Air New Zealand card. So those reviews are worth checking out as well, comparing it to Wise. Plus, we have a general travel money card review. So if you have any questions, do let us know. Just comment below or send us an email. You can find the details on the links below. And yeah, we're just happy to help, and just look forward to your feedback around this card and ways to make travel money cheaper. We're pleased to see Wise come to New Zealand and offer this. We do feel as if New Zealanders have been ripped off for a while with very sort of bad value cards. Now we just want to see more and more card issuers follow the model of just dropping the fees and hiking up the exchange rates in favor for the traveler. But it is slow progress, so we're just publishing more guides to raise awareness around this and sort of let people know where the money ends up. Thanks very much for watching.